97.3% of respondents to a 124,000 person survey in China have indicated that they absolutely hate Go of Pokemon Journeys. And that kind of number absolutely blows my mind. But the question is, why? Let's talk about it. Hey Charles, it's everyone. How are you today? Go is Ash's brilliant, if somewhat socially awkward co-protagonist in Pokemon Journeys, the anime. But unlike Ash, who is focused on a Pokemon battle conquest, Go's goal is to catch Pokemon, fill up his Pokedex, and eventually catch Mew itself. And catch Pokemon he has. In fact, thus far, Go has caught 104 Pokemon within 2.5 years of his run, including one legendary Pokemon, a feat that broke new ground for Pokemon anime protagonists. And as of episode 68, Go has gotten wrapped up in a quest to locate Mew, aptly named Project Mew, and is currently working through a variety of trial missions to earn his stripes. People like Go for a number of reasons and dislike him for a number of other reasons, and admittedly, although I do have my own set of gripes with the impact that Go's character has had on the narrative structure and the conventions of the anime, I basically like Go for the most part, despite what some goofy boofies who are shadowboxing in the comments may tell you. But apparently, Chinese fans truly have it out for the kid with the magic hands, and honestly, Go has been quite the polarizing conversation magnet across the world ever since his introduction to the Pokemon anime. First, people thought he was a girl of the anime tomboy variety for some reason. Then, they were worried that he would replace Ash altogether. Bad chance. And before long, many took issue with how he has been written and the ways in which he has challenged the core tenets of the anime. I understand where both the love and the hate for Go are coming from, and hidden amidst the screechy nebula of fanboy skirmishes, there are valid points on both sides of the aisle. But what exactly pisses Chinese fans off so much about Go that such an enormous sample size would dunk on him at a ratio of 97.3% to 2.7%. Is it something cultural or political or something else altogether? It is time to talk. But before we jump into this quagmire, if you are a fan of charusharu.com and you are interested in making your own Slick as Daisy's website to start making the bucks, as well as helping me purchase enough fermented beans and vegetables and canned tuna to make it through the final stretch of this winter, then please join me for a quick 55-second chat about the epic sponsor of today's video, Squarespace. As I have in fact dropped a pretty intriguing expansion of today's discussion over on charusharu.com, a website only made possible thanks to Squarespace. Squarespace is a one-stop platform upon which you can build a sweet-looking website, set it up with a domain name, and manage everything from your own slick merch shop to ever so valuable analytics that will help you grow and grow and grow without writing a single line of code. I absolutely love the drag and drop functionality with which you can manipulate blocks of text, video, and other features like social media integration and podcast features to get the site purring, and I am sure that you will too. So if you want to smash out your own website and start making some dollars, then check out squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you are ready to go to squarespace.com/charusharu to save 10% off of your first purchase of a website or domain. Thanks again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video, and with that said, let's go. So, China, Pokemon, Bilibili. In a nutshell, Bilibili is a Chinese website similar to YouTube that caters more to the anime and game crowd, and a Pokemon creator over on Bilibili dropped a 20-minute video about Go last year in which they conducted a survey posing the question, what do you think of Go? Like him or hate him? In short, the results of the Chinese survey were like a magnitude 8.0 earthquake to the face, and the video has only continued to blow up over time. And thus, one must wonder what would trigger nearly 120,000 viewers of a 745,000 view video to respond to a survey with such an unbridled 97.3% to to the face? To answer this question, let's break down the core components of the video, as well as some of the top comments on that video, to find out why the Chinese fandom is ripping on Go so very hard. To begin, Seal Harder's video, in which the survey was pitched, takes a very positive posture from the get-go, with the title, "The Most Disgusting Character in the History of Pokemon Go." Those are some rough numbers to grapple with, so I thought there must be some kind of cultural, political, or specifically Chinese tint to this, much like the My Hero Academia backlash over a character name that ran afoul of history a couple years ago. Or perhaps something connected to other things that we just don't talk about on this channel. I mean, we have seen surveys that racked up as much as an 80% hate to 20% like ratio on Japanese websites, but this near unanimous vote took things to a new extreme. The thumbnail and description hilariously refer to Go as One Ball Superman, which initially gave me the sense that, as with much of the international anti-Go faction, this creator mainly hated Go on account of how easily he catches his Pokemon. However, the creator explains that he doesn't particularly care about the One Ball Superman catches on their own, since he gets the Pokemon Go inspiration and he in fact catches Pokemon in this manner in the main series games himself. In the early game via Pokeballs, and in the later game via Quick Balls. In fact, the deeper I got into this video, the more I realized that the creator doesn't especially hate Go himself, but rather he hates the systematic issues caused in the anime by the writing behind Go's existence. So what exactly is the triggering factor here? Seal Harder starts by explaining that he wants his video to be as objective as possible, and he begins to narrate Go's story, all the way from his experiences as a child neglected by his workaholic parents, to the reasons why he stopped trusting people after Tokyo never showed up to meet him on his adventure in Johto, to giving Reboot the freedom to stay behind in Hoenn if he so chose to his deep talk on the roof with a drizzle mired in the confusion of adolescence, wherein he related his own experiences of confusion and alienation in his younger years. Seal Harder surprised me as someone who is apparently quite sympathetic to Go's character himself, but who has deeply rooted concerns with the role that he plays in the anime. Quite simply, his main issue appears to be with the writers bungling the way this character has been written and the effects that this has on the show in its entirety. To start, he expresses minor quips with a variety of scenes, from Scorbunny becoming enchanted with Go only for him to initially reject it with the ridiculous words, "Sorry, but I've decided that the first Pokemon I'm catching is going to be Mew," to effortlessly snagging legendary dog Suicune in episode 53, whereas it took Ash 1004 episodes to break into that territory by snagging a mythical Pokemon, to how Team Rocket owned Grookey spends just one day with Go before it breaks its Pokeball to join him, which throws into question what it means to even have caught a Pokemon, to crushing Chairman Rose's second-in-command, Oleana, and her Milotic at a type disadvantage in episode 45 as someone who apparently isn't much of a battler. But at the end of the day, it comes down to what he describes as Go's harem, which is a pretty hilarious way of describing it, a phenomenon that I have described myself in past videos as the Go quota. Essentially, the need to constantly catch Pokemon in nearly every episode of Pokemon Journeys, stuff them into the Cerise Institute biodome, and barely interact with the majority of them thereafter. Seal Harder points out that this comes at the expense of precious minutes upon minutes, and probably at this point hours upon hours, of screen time that could be spent on actual storytelling. After all, it is cool to see a bro building up his Pokemon collection, but the opportunity cost inflicted on character development, the cohesion of the broader narrative, and Go's character development itself is just so staggering. I respect Sealharder's point, as there have been a lot of episodes that felt bizarrely rushed, on account of screen times that have been slurped up by catches that have never really had any narrative significance, aside from increasing a number that does not matter to anyone. And furthermore, Sealharder finds it particularly frustrating that Go's screen time is higher than that of Ash, whereas in the past, Ash always had the lion's share of the screen time. He states that this is especially vexing, considering that Go entered the anime as a no-name Pokemon trainer, whereas Ash has an expansive legacy and entered this anime series hot off of an Alola League championship. To that point, he notes how when Gary came back, we all wanted to focus on the interactions between Gary and Ash, but instead, Go was framed as the hero and Gary's new rival. And how in the Absol episode, Ash suddenly became an indecisive dummy milksop who could do nothing but rely on Go, which is quite out of character for our very proactive, intense, wild main man. On top of that, he ridicules how Go as an inexperienced newbie goes so far as to advise Alola champion Ash in his battle against Iris. Of course, previous companions did advise Ash, but aside from characters no one cared about, they were basically all experienced gym leaders like Brock, Misty, Silent, and Clement. Likewise, Sealharder expresses his scorn over the fact that apparently it is not so difficult to catch Pokemon at all, and it is simply the writers who have arbitrarily decided to hold Ash back, and that they have treated Go better in just one season than they have treated Ash in the past 7 series. In conclusion, Sealharder states that Go himself is perfectly fine, but requests that the writers actually make an effort to do a good and respectful job writing him. He says that there are a lot of good points to Go's character and key episodes that show his quality, such as the Reboot and Drizzile episodes, but that the writers really do need to stop wasting so much screen time on the one ball Superman catch-a-thon. And as someone who actually likes both Ash and Go and wants the very best for storytelling in the Pokemon universe, I strongly agree with him on that point. Collecting Pokemon in the games is fun, but blasting limited screen time on insignificant catches ad nauseum when the narrative is already being split in half between two characters and then split again to account for the secondary character and the quote-unquote filler episodes. I don't think this does this particular brand of story any favors. And moving forward, I want the writers to focus more sincerely on Ash's World Coronation series run, as well as Go's Project Mew trials. Regarding the enormous number of comments on this video, I read through quite a few of them, and on the whole, people basically reciprocated the creator's thoughts. However, they also raised additional cases for consideration, and here are a few samples of those cases. One viewer found themselves heartbroken and disgusted at Go's Suicune catch, as with just one ball throw, Go showed viewers that the years and years of adventuring to find Suicune and earn its trust, a pursuit of other characters, is nothing but meaningless. So Go is basically the player. Also, a comparison was made to how way back in Jirachi Wishmaker, the commenter just couldn't understand why Flygon did not join Ash's team, but years later recognized that this is the real charm of Ash Ketchum's character, that he embodies the you save me, I save you, you need me, I need you, you respect me, I respect you philosophy that has always been at the core of the anime. How mutual respect, love, and freedom of choice have always trumped the mindless catches of the video games. Many commenters also raised their concerns over how the one ball catch mechanic undermines the core significance of catches in the anime, not to mention that it undermines the significance of what Ash Ketchum himself has achieved over the years. And as one viewer stated, Ash saves Pokemon by running into the crossfire and shielding them with his own body. Go saves Pokemon by simply throwing a ball at them. When a fictional character runs this far afoul of the Chinese otaku community, I usually suspect it is because of something political or cultural, like the Maruta name fiasco of My Hero Academia fame, or because of something related to politics that, as I said, we will not discuss on this channel. But at the end of the day, it seems like a lot of Chinese fans simply want the writers to prioritize good storytelling, character development, and and the true essence of what has made the Pokemon anime so special over the past 25 years. I do like Go, but these opinions, they make sense.